Being a prospect may not always be easy. I mean, you're a new face, you're a newcomer. Some may say an easy target for the other fighters just as much as for the fans. But usually, by working your way up, having impressive wins, and just stamping your name in the UFC and in the sport in general, you gain a little bit of respect. But there's just some prospects right now that you can try to push the hype down my throat as much as you want. I cannot take them seriously. As much as I want to, I just can't. So let's start with the most obvious one. Rahul Rosas JR. This guy, I mean, when I say easy target, you don't have more easy than that. Moicano is making fun of him because of the way he looks. Also the fact that he's 18, all eyes were on him since the Contender Series when people were saying that, damn, there's this 17-year-old, I think it was 16 or 17 at the time, that's going to compete for the UFC. People were already skeptical about him. And then he lost his second fight in the UFC. People said he was like, he got fraud checked. But I'm not here to hate on his skills because he's 18. He's my age and he could beat my ass every day of the week, twice on Sundays. So I'm not here to hate on his skills, just in general. When I think of a champion, when I think of a badass fighter, I think of Dustin Poirier, I think of Alex Pereira, I think of, Conor McGregor, I think of Yuri Prohaska. I just can't get excited for a Raul Rosas fight. When he's talking about becoming a triple champ and going for the belt and everything, I just can't see myself be excited for that. And he saw the success of Alex Pereira with Chama. So now he's trying to start his own Chiwiwi chant. Like, it doesn't hit for me. It doesn't hit. And it just kind of looks goofy. And just with the way he looks, the way he talks, and, losing second fight in the UFC after talking all that shit. Don't call me a hater, but try to remember all the shit he was talking about. He was even talking shit to Aljamain Sterling, the champion in his division at the time. He was talking shit to him in his face, saying that he went to the gym and he basically humiliated Aljamain. When Aljamain came out and said that he was just giving him light work to try to push the younger generation, but Raul Rosas took it like he got over himself because of that. So seeing him talking shit to the champ, to Marab, to all those guys, saying they're not on his level, and then just being fraud checked by a guy who's, less than average in the UFC, it just confirmed my suspicions about him, that he was never going to be one of my favorite fighters, that I was never going to be too excited about Raul Rosas. And now with the Chiwiwis and, just in general, I can't take him seriously. But you may call me a hater because of it, but that's just how I felt since he came into the UFC. Another one that I feel similar about is Cameron Simon. And I am biased with this one because Peyton Talbot, I'm very invested in his career. So seeing him do that to Cameron Simon really did put a smile on my face. But anyway, it didn't start with that. Cameron Simon was someone that was really being hyped up by MMA Guru, by Joe Rogan, by Daniel Cormier, and I never saw why. I never saw it. In his early fights, all he did was foul people, so many low blows, so many eye pokes, and people kept hyping him up. And again, I hate to be a promoter of lookism. Lookism, if you don't know, is basically racism for looks. But there's just some fighters that I just can't take seriously because of their face. And I'm not hating. I guess I am, but I just can't take him seriously. He just looks like, I don't know, he's giving me like young Sheldon vibes. Like he's not supposed to be here. He's supposed to be at like drama class or like doing theater or something. Like, I don't know. It just, when I look at him, it's hard for me to picture like, okay, this guy is a serious prospect. He just doesn't give me that feeling. But like I said, a reputation gets built. Like, nobody comes in the UFC with all the hype and just proves everyone wrong and have no doubters. Even Hamza Chimaev, at the peak of his fame, of his hype, still had doubters. So I don't expect these not random because they're in the UFC, they're accomplished athletes, but I don't expect these prospects to just put everyone on the same page and just have no doubters. I just think that some of them just make it easy to not believe in them. And with Cameron Simon, it's even more easy because everyone was hyping him up. And I was the one like looking at him like, yeah, he's pretty good. He trains with DDP, who's making waves right now, but he keeps fouling people. He looks like young Sheldon. And then he got just absolutely like dismantled by Peyton Talbot after trying to follow him too. So yeah, Cameron Simon is a no for me. I do not buy the hype. He does not give me the feeling of a guy that's going to be a menace. He does not make me feel like, he doesn't look dangerous. He just doesn't look dangerous. He looks like a teddy bear. And he follows people. So I think that's pretty easy to not like him. For the last one, it was difficult to talk about because I know he's the heavyweight GOAT, but I mean, at the end of the day, he's still a prospect in the heavyweight division. And when I look at him, I mean, it doesn't make sense for me. My brain does not compute how a Dagestani, 6 foot something, 200 pounds something, can have a baby face like that and just look so harmless. And just in general, seeing him quit against Rosenstruck, it just like, I don't know, it just looked goofy to me. Like, I know he's an athlete, I know he's in the cage, and I am not. I keep saying it, but I am not hating on them. I could not do what they do. But just looking at it, it just looked so goofy. And now I just can't see him the same way. I just can't buy the hype anymore. So when people talk about Shamil Gaz as a real threat in this division, like on Good Guy Bad Guy with Chell in DC, or like just ESPN shows, or maybe Bisping or whatever, when they talk about the heavyweight rankings because maybe John Jones' fight got announced or something, and they talk about Shamil like, okay, yeah, this is a guy that could work his way up. I'm like, no, he can't. No, he can't. Like, who is he gonna work his way up against? He's not beating Gane. He's not beating Volkov. He's not beating Pavlovich. He's not beating Tuivasa. I mean, maybe he is. But just in general, to go from a guy that was being given a main event at the UFC, I mean, it was an Apex main event, but still a main event shows that the UFC had some hopes for him, and he was being looked at as a prospect, as a serious prospect. And now I just don't buy it. I don't see him, and I think is like when people try to talk about him like he's still one of the most serious prospects in the division, it just makes me laugh. And I think he kind of looks goofy. So yeah, this is my list of prospects that I do not believe in, or at least not necessarily don't believe in, because they could go on and do great things. I mean, Shamil is ranked. Rahul Rosas probably gonna fight a ranked opponent soon. Cameron Simon too. I mean, It's not that I don't believe in their skills. It's just that I can't take them seriously. They don't give me that, okay, this one you need to watch out for. It doesn't give me that vibe. But I'm gonna do the opposite, and I'm gonna release a video talking about the most feared prospect, the most serious looking prospects, the one you really need to watch out for, because those ones, they ain't it. But thank you for watching. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you're a big Cameron Simon fan. I don't know. That's on you. But let me know what you guys think.